5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hello, good evening, good afternoon, good day, wherever you're in the world. That's probably going to apply to. Let me just sort out my laptop screen because you can see me, but I can't see anything, which, you know, considering I've got glasses, is a pretty neat achievement to make. How are we all doing? I know it's prediction show and I'm actually hosting it for once. That's a surprise in its own. And another surprise, well, two surprises really rolled into one. We're doing a prediction show and Leicester won. I know, Leicester won a game. And not just that, steady your heart rate, check your pulse, make sure you're okay. They kept a clean sheet. What a week it's been. A point in the week against high-flying Ipswich Town, and that was followed up by our first win in 10 games at home to Bristol City. I predict something interesting. I'm just not sure if I'll predict anything right in the Predictions League. It is Thursday. It is, 7 minutes past 8. Nearly. I'm in the future now. It is 6 minutes past 8. It's Thursday night. It's not quite Friday, but let's get that Friday feeling, shall we? It is the Prediction Show. And with me again today, he's back. You know, you get one, we're like bosses, because back with me as soon as I can move this thing. See, this is Chris's organisation, folks. I don't like to slag the boss off, but I'm going to, right? You try and get everything all organised and put up, and then Chris makes a million and one. Look at these. These are all the sort of things you can get me in, all these different sort of views. You can't see me in half of them. You can see me in some of them. I have to move it just so I can bring back. Some say he's holding up the rest of us in the prediction table. Others say he's the world's strongest man by being at the bottom. All I know is, and all you know is, he's called Josh. Josh, how the devil are you, my friend?
Broad shoulders, pal. Broad shoulders.
Yeah, you need them in this league because some people just crumble and leave. You know, I'm not pitching those, Chris. You know, they can't handle the heat. You at least stay in the kitchen.
You got to, pal. You got to. I've been all right, mate. I've been all right. Busy working that. Like I say, it was why I ain't been on for the last few weeks. Work's been pretty manic. So, but yeah, been doing all right, mate. Like you say, and obviously after Tuesday night's game, even better, to be honest.
Yeah, it was a real good feeling. It's been a while. Normally, you know, a couple of nights, the day after, probably. You know, there's other channels out there. Obviously, you only come to this one, but sometimes match day vloggers are fun to watch, and I tend to watch them when we win. But it's been about 10 weeks since I've been able to do that, so it was nice to see them, see some happy faces. I mean, it was hard. It wasn't that hard to see the happy faces. There was only about 35 people that went to the game, but it was some happy faces. I know there was probably a lot more than that, and I understand why as well to a degree. But it was nice, wasn't it? And it suddenly just changes your way of thinking, doesn't it? Because after the Ipswich game, it was, okay, it's 3 points. You know, that's 3 away games now. You know, we lost the only home game in his first 4 games. You're thinking, the way it's been this season, I think we were still under that impression that, yeah, well, we all know what's happening now. We'll draw 2-2 with Bristol City or we'll lose this game. So nothing's really changed. It's just a little false dawn. But Is this a little bit more of a sign that maybe Gary Rowett's now a bit integrated, the training, his ideas? Because I know he hasn't changed any from formation-wise. Less said about that, the better. But it does feel like there's a little bit different. I mean, what did you see of the game, Josh? Did you go? Were you able to watch it at all? What's there anything there that you can say, yeah, I've seen a difference between what Rowett does and what Marty and I would say Andy King, but I don't even think he tried anything. That being the sad point. Did you see much in there? Not just the result, obviously, but was there anything in that performance that made you think, yeah, actually, okay, I see the Rowett way now? Because it seemed that way with the crowd.
I think, first and foremost, I think the thing is that I've noticed from the players is he's got them working a lot harder. I still think we're from watching us, I still think we're probably one of the most unfit teams in the league. We seem to sort of run out of gas around 70 minutes, and you sort of see that the players are lagging slightly. But on Tuesday, I mean, overall the performance, it was good. I still don't think it was brilliant. Having said that, we won 2-0. There was still a few bits here and there where you thought, well, needs a bit of working on. But it was, I'd say, for the first time this season, it was over the 90 minutes, it was a solid showing. And it was a game where I thought, well, Bristol City, they weren't bad. They weren't really bad. They weren't terrible. But I suppose, picking up a win against the team like them, where they've been sort of there and thereabouts all season, really, especially, the form we've been on as well. I was just really pleased, mate. Really pleased. I think certain players that take, quite a bit of flack over the season so far. I think Luke Thomas is one that gets quite a lot of flack, but I thought he played really well on Tuesday. There seems to be certain. It's when he comes up against certain teams where he really excels. I mean, for some reason, whenever we played Liverpool, he always seems to do well against Mo Salah, which is bizarre. Then just overall, mate, I thought the performance was really good, and it's always nice to cap it off with win, especially, the clean sheet was massive as well. You sort of think when we conceded the penalty, you'd think, fucking hell, like, here we go again. It's going to be a nervy last 20 minutes. But
and that was pivotal, wasn't it? Because if that goes in, we all know what happens. It was a weak penalty, but goalkeepers union over here, you have to still dive the right way. We've seen many P rollers go in because the goalkeeper's flung himself one way and he's gone rolling into the corner. So that for me was that for you maybe the moment in that match where you kind of go, oh, this could be it. This could be the
massively,
game.
Mate. Yeah, because after that, I don't really think Bristol City, they didn't really threaten that much from what I can remember. I mean, but touching on what you said about the penalty save, it was, they all look easy penalty saves, don't they? But like you say, he's got to guess the right way. And I suppose the way he sort of, when he saved it, it's one of them where it could have easily squirmed under his body as well, but he managed to keep hold of it and, like you say, keep it out. So I think, just overall, mate, getting the wins obviously massive. We're out the relegation zone now, and we sort of results did sort of go forwards over the yesterday and Tuesday. There sort of seems to be, if we can keep teams within reach of us and drag them into the relegation battle we're in as well, then it gives us even better chance. So one thing I want to say is quickly, I thought Oliver Skip on Tuesday were absolutely brilliant. He were absolutely everywhere, and he's one of the players this season where we've not really had a lot to shout about player performance wise, but every game he's played, he runs his bollocks off, he tries hard, and I think the only thing that goes against him is the money we paid for him. Because if we'd have signed him for $7 million, you sort of look at it and think, yeah, that's really good business. But I thought Tuesday, mate, he were absolutely outstanding, and they're the sort of performances we're going to need if we are to stay up this season.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And not just the only person that agrees with you there. Just going to say a quick hello to Craig in the chat. He's gone straight to Saturday. And I like the fact that the players and the manager mentality was, this is good, Saturday, go again, sort of things. He says, must-win game on Saturday. Anthony says, I bet Brad's hosting, he's always late. Excuse me. I think you find Chris is also late. Could have been either of us. Could have been both of us. Would have been ridiculous. Paul says, evening everybody, and Michael says hello. And Paul, who agrees with you, he says Skip ran his socks off, man of the match for me. We'll do I don't know if we'll do a review show. I don't think we usually do with a midweek game, but he was in my contention for man of the match. Along with maybe the goal scorer Ben Nelson until he gave away the penalty, but performance. And Anthony, because he supports any team, that plays in red. He is a Bristol City and Arsenal fan, so he has one good team and he supports Arsenal. He says, I have no comment. I mean, shutting Anthony up is a hard task, not managed by many, but the fact that it is managed by a football result tells you what you need to know. I mean, before we get into the predictions, because, funny enough, that's what this show's called, and there is a game kicking off at 8 o'clock tomorrow night, so we have less than 24 hours to get through it. But I understand a little bit tentative, not really trying to get too much out of getting a point against Middlesbrough, point against Stoke, Ipswich and that before this win. And I know people are probably still getting a bit giddy, but like, oh no, we need to calm down because this is Leicester. But do you think as well, you talk about the running, Gary Rowett mentioned it before the game, 6 of our next 9 games are at home. We know how important that home form can be. We had it in the Great Escape season. Obviously, unfortunately, that was a Premier League Great Escape, not a potential Championship Great Escape. But also, I looked at the fixture list, like you said, and teams have been drawing, playing in and around us. And the better of the two, if you will, for kind of best of the worst case scenario, it's Oxford beating the Blackburns, not the Blackburns beating the Oxford. Yeah. It sounds ridiculous, but you want to have as many teams now. Yeah. Now we're hoping to get some momentum. And to me now, we've got 6 points out of a possible 12. Leicester will now have more favourable of a run-in with our victories going forward. Does that make it even more impressive that actually now you can look back at them first 4 games he's had in charge and gone, all right, minus Norwich, actually, where others have failed to get any points from anyone in and around them or not make, I know Southampton saved their own blushes late on in that game against West Brom, but I think they played Oxford the week before and it was a draw. And Oxford are the ones that are on. They're a point behind us, which isn't anything in the game of football. But I'm just looking at the fixtures. Obviously, we're going to predict them later on. But we're at home against QPR, and I believe West Brom are also. Oxford are playing Charlton. So if we do our, that one's a game where if Charlton win it, I think Charlton are slightly too far out. So, yeah. And then, I'm looking at where is it? I did see, West Brom are at home, but they're at home to play off chasing Hull. And I know they've just got a point against Southampton, but if we can do our job and results go in our favour, all of a sudden it just means going into the week after and the week after that, we want to be in that driving seat. Does that make 3 points that we got against the likes of Stoke, Middlesbrough and Ipswich seem even more important now and more impressive?
It does, because like you say, you look at it on paper and the way we were playing before I would come in, it's a really tricky run-in. And you could say...
This is a different situation at the moment on the league table. Shows you that it's tighter than a nuns you-know-what. But that's psychological edge.
Yeah.
Like goal difference. And we were trying to say this last season, weren't we? Paul's just took... I'm going to start calling myself Meatloaf because Paul's taking the words right out of my mouth pretty much. That -7 to -17, we still have West Brom to play as well.
Yeah.
That could become a point in its own, couldn't it? So does that mean that any point we're getting, like the Middlesbrough and the ones before this win, are going to turn out to be even more crucial? Because we're not losing 1-0, losing 3-0, losing 2-1 sort of thing. We're not worsening that goal difference.
Definitely. I mean, like you say, our goal difference itself is worth another point, really. And you look back on the game, Stoke, we probably should have won that game. Middlesbrough, I thought we were lucky to draw. The last 10-15 minutes, we really seemed to go for it and push for the win. Norwich was a complete disaster. Terrible. It's probably one of the worst games I've seen us play, and that's saying something. And then Ipswich on Saturday, 1-0 up, and I think second half rode us luck a bit. So to go there and come away with a point, because they're obviously right up there, they're looking for automatic. It's the situation we're in. I think it's sort of if you can get a point away from home against teams like that, and then try and win your own games. I know it's easier said than done because we've been pretty shit home and away this season, but we're giving ourselves a chance. And it's mental to say, obviously, this stage of the season. I think at the start of the season, if anybody had just said, we've been in a relegation fight, you'd be like, no, we'll be well clear of that. We should be right, even with a points deduction. But it's the situation we find ourselves in. But I think the way Rowett is, and you see him on the sideline, and he never settles. He's always sort of barking out instructions and stuff, and that's what you want. I think it's easy to say. It's easy to say now because we're sort of performance-wise looking better under him. Still not perfect, so we're picking up results here and there. I think we're a really good fit for him, and he's a manager who I think if we are to go down, he's someone who I'd want to keep in, because I wouldn't put this relegation on him if we are to go down on him at all. But if we stay up, then it's down to him if that makes sense, because he's instilled belief and he's got players playing a lot better than what they were, and just players fighting literally. And I think that's as any football fan, you just want to see your team put in a performance and try hard, and we've not really had that much this season. So. It's looking positive. Touch wood. Like you say, we just need to follow it up on Saturday with hopefully another win and maybe a clean sheet, but maybe that's asking a bit too much. 2 on the bounce. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it would be, but I mean, right now, I don't think we can expect Leicester to be, have a performance where we sit here and go, oh, that was really good. It was really perfect. Like you said, it was bits. It's going to be error ridden. We're going to see a few hard moments. But I think if we can get a win going on Saturday, make it 2 wins out of 2. And we've also got to remember, we have got West Brom and Blackburn coming up. And if we can get, I know Blackburn's the last game of the season, but if we can get to that West Brom game 3-4 points ahead of them, and I believe it's at the Horn for us, that could be a real statement. And I'm just saying, the last time we went to the Horn Fawns with relegation on the line, Jamie Vardy scored a 90th minute winner, and it was part of another great escape. Now, I'm not saying Daka needs to channel in his inner, is in a Jamie Vardy to do the same thing when it comes around, but it puts us in a more positive position to have that edge on us. But I'm sure Chris has got plenty of shows lined up. He's probably done plenty of shows on it. So we'll cut that talk there about there. We just like to get everybody warmed up and get the crowd going and get the viewers coming in, which is slowly coming in. The tickets are being accepted. We are going to make some predictions. We're not going to be any good at them, but we are going to make some predictions. And we're going to start with the game on Friday night. Now then, this game. You know that expression when you say that Jack the lad goes into the club and he goes, lock up your mothers and daughters, he's out tonight. Well, if you're in Wales on a Friday, lock up your sheep, because it's Wrexham versus Swansea City. And I'm sorry, it's such a cheap blow. It's sorry, I shouldn't have gone there. I'm sorry. And I'm sorry. I'm not, but I am sorry. For legal reasons, I am sorry. It's Wrexham, the high-flying Wrexham, the Hollywood Bowl of the Championship, and they're at home to Swansea City, who in themselves, I mean, I have to get really close and squint my eyes to see the table that Chris printed off for us. But I mean, they're not a million miles away off the playoffs themselves. They will fancy that if they can get on a nice run, go into this last section. We've seen it. We've been a part of it for our times in the Championship before. They could do this. Wrexham will want to keep the dream alive of making the Premier League. So with that being said, and I haven't got the list of Super 6 fixtures on here, so none of these predictions will go towards it. So you've got free reign, Josh, to say what you want. Just send me yours in a message, mate. Yeah, predictions from the group. Where are we going with this one then, Josh?
It's a derby, isn't it? So
it's a cheating.
Yeah. Form sort of goes out the window, I guess. I'm guessing these teams ain't played each other for quite a while as well. So I think both teams will be up for it. It's a tricky one to call. I think I'd probably give Wrexham the edge because it's at Wrexham. I'll go 2-0 Wrexham on this one.
We'll go 2-0 Wrexham. Well, And by the way, guys, if you are in the chat, feel free to jump in with your own predictions, just for the laugh, just to go ahead with it. We'll be doing these throughout the show. I would usually Chris has some lovely artwork, but he was a bit rushed today, to be fair to him. So I can't have the fixtures up next to us because spot the difference between the first picture and the second picture. I'll tell you, if you've seen The Office, you know there's no difference between these pictures, right? Okay, so I can't have that up. Plus, you won't be able to read it. So I am doing this all through the power of the phone. So yeah, I'm going to go for a Desmond on this one. I can't separate the two sides. You'd never want to lose a Derby or a Sheepy or a Rammy if you're a Derby fan, whatever you want to call it. And I can just see this being entertaining because as good as Wrexham are, one thing I will say about them is, and this might potentially be their downfall in the playoffs if they are to stay in the playoffs and stay in there. And I don't mean this in a bad way because I'm not on the Wrexham hate train or anything like that. But I can see that being a downfall because they concede a lot of goals. I've seen a lot of their scores this season: 5-3 wins, 5-3 losses, 4-3, 3-2s. You know, they can shift a lot, but if they have one bad game, and that's all it takes in that scenario, doesn't it? In that mini shootout, they have one bad leg at home or away where their opposition beats them 3-0. You do see some miracles, but it'd be very hard for them to turn it around. So for that reason, I've gone for a Desmond. Now then, because the Championship has no class like the Premier League and doesn't sprinkle our games throughout every single match day available to them, we have all the games after that one on a Saturday. But we do have 3 12:30 kickoffs. And we'll start, well, they had a wobble. Craig went 1-0 Wrexham, by the way, the person who put a prediction. They had a wobble. We were having a little bit of a giggle at them because we thought Middlesbrough were going to do it. But then you can't trust Middlesbrough to do anything these days, can you? Coventry City, back on top, clear with that gap. It's almost like they copied the homework of a similar Midlands club from 2 seasons ago because they managed to clear. I can't get my words out. They managed to have a little stumble, but have eventually pulled away again from there. And they're playing Southampton, who, again, after a bad start to the season, have sort of caught up a little bit. You know, they've managed to rebuild after getting rid of Will Still, but the God that's in there. Where do you see this one going? Do you see? No, mate, you've doubled up the list. It's a 6 lister. You've put 6 fixtures and then underneath is 6. So I can't use it. And you can't see that. I loaded it up and went to message you and realised the time. My apologies, Chris. Yeah, where do you see this one going? Is it a home banker? Oh,
you know what? I watched Southampton last night, and before watching them, I looked at this upcoming fixture against Coventry, and I thought, you know what, I gave them a bit of a chance against them, but
yeah, blame Josh. It's all Josh's fault. Okay,
it is.
I said Chris was rushed because of Josh, so that's why the fixtures are like this. Yeah, you can't, can you, Chris?
It always is. I apologise. But no, well, I mean, I thought Southampton, they were lucky to get a draw last night, to be honest.
I've never been so brave to check my phone on 90 for 1 minute and see the score go back to that. I was like,
yeah, that's it. So it worked out well for us. But no, I think, like you say, mate, Coventry look like they're going to run away with it. And fair play to them, I think, in the league. They've been by far the better team. I know it's easy to say when you're sitting top of the league, but it's not always the case. You know, some better teams don't always finish first, but they've been outstanding. I just think it's going to continue from me. It's on paper it's a tricky game, but I can just see them brushing Southampton aside, mate. I think they'll concede, but as ever with most games this season, I can see them scoring at least 3. So I'm going to go Coventry 3, Southampton 1.
Well, I mean, I hate to say it, but you've made a very compelling case for a big Coventry win, and Craig has gone Coventry City 3-0 win. I thought he thought they were playing Wimbledon for a second there, but he just put Cov 3-0 win. So, it's a bit of a shame because obviously, all things aside of commentary, you do like to see a bit of competition in there. Yeah, see, it's just the same. Has he sorted it out now? I still can't read them anyway. I'm going to go for it. There's the fixtures. If he sorted it, I don't know if he has or if he's trying to sort it now. Looks different. I can see different badges. So, sorry, it just threw me off because I saw him changing it in the background. Thanks for that, Chris. I can't see anything different than an easy Coventry win. I feel like it'd be a Leicester. Well, they weren't that one because it's not the one that I have loaded up. It's the one it's not me that needs to go Specsavers. It's you for rushing. Blame Josh. I told you, stop trying to blame me. Go away. Shoo. I bet he's laughing his head off. That's what he's gone off camera. Anyway, I can see. No, you can't. Well, see you later, folks. We've been sacked. P45. I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to go 3-0 Coventry. I just think it'd be easy. Southampton always seem to bugger it up for you. Like I said, I'm grateful in a way that they got the equaliser against West Brom. But really, they couldn't have done it any worse, could they? But there we go. Next 12:30 kickoff, we'll see Middlesbrough take on the team who couldn't score past Leicester. That is Bristol City. I mean, Middlesbrough must be kicking themselves, but now that they couldn't take a hold of Coventry's downfall so well, now they did go top for a game, but a few draws and a few slip results have seen them fall behind Coventry. Surely, if they don't finish top 2 though this season, it'll be classed as what you call a rich man's problem, if you will. It'll be a mini disaster in the sense that they've been there for the majority, if not pretty much all the season. And if they end up having to go up or contend in the playoffs to get promoted, like I said, it'll be a bit of a rich man's disaster. Say, oh no, we finished third. Like, oh great, you already had one Ferrari this week, sort of problem. But they have to win this, surely, don't they? You talk about momentum needed for a team. This one surely has to be a game that they just have to win to keep that momentum and keep the likes of Twitch and that at bay, don't they?
Yeah, it's a massive game for them, especially after obviously losing against Charlton. Just like you say, just to try and keep the pressure on Coventry. I can't see Coventry being caught whatsoever now. I think they're just going to walk away with it. And then it's that battle between Middlesbrough and Ipswich now, which it'll be interesting to see. I think it's one of them where if Middlesbrough are to finish the season in third and Ipswich are to pip them to second, I think mentality-wise, it's going to have a massive effect on the Middlesbrough players because, as you pointed out, to sit in the top 2 for most of the season and then just to fall away at the vital time, it's not going to do any good for confidence. So it's again with Bristol City against us, wasn't really impressed. I was going to say a draw, but I think because Middlesbrough realised that it's a game they've got to win, else Ipswich will just pile the pressure on them. I'm going to go for a nervous 2-1 win for Middlesbrough.
Just check there's no cameras in my house because what I'm about to say will confirm while looking on. Because I did say this to some people after the Bristol City game because there's, and again we're probably trying not to get too excited, not be too positive because it's Leicester, they'll end up biting us on the arse if we get too excited. But I wondered if Bristol City saw how Leicester go in that second half whenever they're in front or they're holding on for a point. That Leicester of old, well, for the other 30, most of the games of the season, should I say, not of old. It's only one game that they haven't been. But did they expect Leicester to allow them to have the ball and have 30 shots on target? And that's why they were a bit caught off guard. I think they won't make that mistake again. I know their manager wasn't very happy. I'm going to stick with my prediction, although I do want to change it because I think you'll looking at, well, you've got cameras and can see what I've got. But I am going to agree with you, Josh. I do think Middlesbrough will edge this out 2-1. I just see Middlesbrough winning this. That's funny, Josh. Well, coincidentally, it's not really funny. It's not half funny. It's just coincidentally here. You mentioned Charlton that they lost to. This is the game where we're obviously in that point now, and Craig's gone 2-0 to Middlesbrough. For Leicester's perspective, this is the first fixture that Leicester are going to have eyes on whilst they wait for their game to kick off at 3:00. It is Oxford, who have suddenly picked up form in their own right. Better late than never for some teams, and they've got to do it now, along with us and West Brom and some others around us will be saying the same. But they are playing Charlton Athletic. Now, a couple of weeks ago, we'd have probably said, well, Oxford are 5 points behind us. If they win this game, okay, it's no big deal. And it keeps Charlton with us. With Charlton now being, for me, that's like the bar that you can't see because they're out. I know mathematically they can obviously still get caught, still plenty of points available for it. But in terms of the fact that it's 30, I don't know, we're on 38 points and they're on 44, for me, I think my heart and head are working together in my prediction on this. For Leicester, you want an away win, surely. But Oxford are 2 games in a row now, I believe, back-to-back wins and at home. This is a game where they can put the pressure back on Leicester and West Brom, respectively, and also Portsmouth and Blackburn, who we'll get to later on with their games. Where's this all going? Because we know what we want, what we really, really want, and it's not a ziggy-ziggy-R, but we know what we want. But is this game actually going to go that way, Josh, or do you see Oxford keeping their momentum?
I think in an ideal world, it'd be a draw. But for me, I have to say, mate, I'd rather, if there's going to be a winner in it, I'd rather have Oxford win because, like we were saying earlier, you sort of want to keep as many teams in this dogfight as much as possible because then you give yourself a better chance because, say, for in a few weeks' time, we pick up results God willing, we climbed above Charlton, and then you're sort of looking down and you're thinking, well, we're not just looking for West Brom's results, Oxford's results, Blackburn's results. There's at least another 2 or 3 teams where you think, well, to potentially be caught, they need to drop points. To potentially be caught, they need to win. So it's a tricky one, but both teams picked up. Like I said, they picked up quite a bit of form, and especially at the time of the season where you need to get every point you can. It's a tricky one. I'll go for a 1-1 draw on this one. I think I'm going to go for the one I'm hoping for. A draw keeps Charlton within touching distance. A sentence I never thought I'd say this season. But yeah, I'll go for a 1-1. A 1-1 I think it'd suit us to the ground.
Yeah, well, Craig, he has gone for a Desmond. He's pulled out his first Desmond of the night. For me, Charlton they're not a result. They're not a team that if they're playing and I'm just looking at the fixture that follows this, the first of the 3 o'clock. If Charlton are playing a Birmingham or a Sheffield United, or they're playing a Coventry or Southampton, or any of the other teams around, I don't care. Because of the gap between us right now. I don't care. And for me, it's Portsmouth, Blackburn, West Brom, Oxford. They're the teams that we need to be getting more points. We need to be getting the same or more points than them teams because of where we are in the league. If they draw and we draw, nothing changes. We're still above the relegation zone. Obviously, we'd like to give ourselves a win when they do that, or if they lose, we draw at least. But as long as we're matching or bettering them 4 teams, I'm happy. Norwich, again, not completely out, but Norwich and Charlton, again, for me, are them 2 teams. I'm not looking at who they're... I'm more interested in Charlton winning this game than I am Oxford. Because if Charlton win and we win, then we open up a gap between Oxford, and we're no closer to Charlton, but we keep our own momentum going. We can only focus on what we do, and if other teams drop points, it's a bonus for Leicester. So on that basis, I like Oxford, and if we weren't in the paddling up the proverbial without a paddle, I'd probably back Oxford to go and get something here, because we are Leicester and we do love underdogs. As it is, I hope they lose, so I'm going to go Oxford 0, Charlton 2. Nothing personal, Oxford fans, just we're in a situation where we need 3 teams below us, and right now you occupy one of them to, 2 remaining spots, because obviously we know Sheffield Wednesday are a gone side. So you've gone 1-1, I've gone 2-0 Charlton, or 0-2, should I say, and Craig has gone for a Desmond. Now then. Yeah, I know it was. I can't do a short journey there, Chris. I mean, would I be me? Would I be me if it was a short one? You know what I mean? Come on. I mean, as well. Yeah, would I be me if I just went, yeah? You need a shave. I was clean shaven before the show started, mate. This has only been for the 36 minutes we've been live. I'll get cracking then, Chris, just to please you. You ain't got a 9 o'clock show, have you? Because I might make it go on to 9:01 now. 3 o'clock kickoffs. Bit of a dead rubber, this one. It's Birmingham versus Sheffield United. Obviously, next season, when there's 19 teams that can get in the playoffs, it might not. Love you too, mate. Love you too, Chris. He doesn't. He's saying that to appease us. Right now, next season, like I said, that's tongue-in-cheek. It's not 19, but it'll be 8 teams. This might not be a dead rubber, but does this already have the feelings of not making the playoffs, not going down, feet up, ball draw, or do you see one of these teams still thinking they've got an outside chance of making a dash to the playoffs?
It sounds tough, but I think had Sheffield United not lost the other night, I still think they did believe that they'd be in with a right shot at the playoffs. But I think with this one again, it's Sheffield United. They've had a good crack at it, and especially at the start of the season after they'd lost the first 4 or 5 games or whatever it was, they've made a right good go of it. And Wilder's just proved that he's a manager for them. It just works. I think next season's maybe the season where they'll really push on, and I can see them maybe going for automatic promotion next season. As with Birmingham as well, to be honest, I think they'll have a good crack next season. But because Birmingham are at home, I think maybe Birmingham will just about shade it. So I'll go 2-1 Birmingham.
You're going 2-1 Birmingham. Yeah, I feel like, Wilder won't want playoffs next season because, he'll get sacked, won't he? He'll get sacked, and then he'll have to wait about 8 weeks to get his job back again. It's like the most toxic relationship that everybody thinks they're made for each other, and really, it's just a bit toxic. For me personally, I still feel like, obviously, both teams will feel like they've still got a chance to probably sneak in. There has been a bit of inconsistency in form. You certainly
have, Chris. You have.
You certainly do, Chris. You're not wrong. But I just feel like this is a game where they know a defeat probably kills it off at them, especially if results go against them with teams above them winning. And I'm just going to go for a pour on ITV4, and I'm going to go for Birmingham 0, Sheffield United 0. I can just see them cancelling each other out. Now then, before Saturday's game at Portman Road, and definitely before Tuesday's game against Bristol City, I saw this game and I got chills. I had a hot sweat. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My heart palpitation was going because I had flashbacks to the Marcy Cifuentes derby. Of course, I'm talking about Leicester versus Queen's Park Rangers, and that was an absolute train wreck, wasn't it, Josh? 4-1 on the night, and it only became 4-1 because we got a penalty, but we couldn't even score that. It actually took Silko Thomas scoring the rebound to get us a goal. And that was maybe when the writing was on the wall for Marty, that it was just not going to get any better and eventually lead to, him being handed his P45. We owe these a beating, though, don't we, Josh? And we couldn't have had a better 2 results, realistically, given the opposition and where they are in the league, to give momentum and confidence to go out and do it. I'm going to stick. I will say this now. Chris is in the background. He is my witness because I will post not my predictions given on this show, but this one is the one I will keep. I'm telling you now, I'm going a big and bold scoreline for this. So I'm going to let Josh have the floor on this before I give you my score prediction. So, Josh, is it going to be 7 points out of 9, or is it going to be same old Leicester shitty? What Leicester are we getting on Saturday, Josh?
You know what? I think this season being on the show, I've been quite pessimistic when it comes to us. But as I said earlier with Rao, I really, really like him. He's got the players playing, and I think they'll look at this game and think, you know what, it's another good chance to get another win and put in a solid showing. I would like to say we'd get another clean sheet, but I don't think we will. But I do think we'll win. So I'm going to go. Are you hat trick? Jesus Christ! I'll go for.
I don't know what's more optimistic. Well, that has actually been scoring like I use.
Yeah,
Brace isn't too outside the bizarre realms of possibility. But Chris, you couldn't score a hat trick if he was the only player on the pitch. So, I'm going to go 2-1 Leicester. You're going to go 2-1 Leicester. I've just got this funny feeling. I don't know if it's again because Bristol City were expecting us to sit back and try and, take the bombardment for 45 minutes like we did against Ipswich a little bit the weekend prior. But I've just got this feeling that that's just really going to kick us in to gear for these next. And it might be a short burst of purple patch, but that could be enough to keep you up. Yeah. That could be enough. If we go and win the next 3 games and a draw and then maybe drop off again with results, it might not matter because we could be right up out of the relegation zone. And I'm going to go for Chris has got how many goals I'm going for. He's gone 5-0. But I'm like you. I don't see us keeping another clean sheet. I mean, come on. We are asking too much of them to go back-to-back clean sheets. I'm going for Leicester. In fact, I'm going to do it in reverse. So you probably work out the maths if you're any good at counting. Queen's Park Rangers will score 1, but Leicester will win 4. So
it'd be nice, wouldn't it? It'd be nice.
Queen's Park Rangers 1. I don't know. Maybe there's something stronger in my coffee than I care to admit. But I really do see just something about this fixture. Maybe it's just with how pathetically bad we were beaten by them, and we were pathetic in the game. But I just feel like they're due a beating. We're due to give somebody a beating for how miserable that we've been this season, and this could be it. And I hope I'm right because I'm going to be predicting it as well. That's another reason I hope it's right. And, I'm not a gambling entrepreneur, but I've got 10p on it. So it'll be £2.80. Don't gamble, folks. And if you do, when the fun stops. But there you go. Both gone for Leicester wins. You've gone 2-1. You've been a bit more sensible, which isn't hard to do, than be more sensible than me. And I've gone 4-1 Leicester. Now then, another one that, Leicester fans might be keeping a bit of, notifications on the phone if they're at the game. They might be having Gillette Soccer Saturday on the side whilst perfectly legally streaming a Leicester game, or joining us for a watch along. If you subscribe and you hit the like button on this video and you've turned notifications on, you were watching us and keeping an eye on it. And that
just quickly, Brad, who's the guy that does the watch alongs with Chris?
Tom.
I'll tell you what, right? You know what? He speaks so well. I love him. I think he's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. He speaks so well.
Tom's just messaged me, checks in the post. He says, I believe it's Tom and Chris that do the wash along. I know Tom's done a few when Chris has been sunning it off in Lanzarote.
Yeah. I enjoy watching him, mate. I think he talks really, really well. He's you, Chris, obviously, but yeah, man, just Tom. Like he talks really well. He'd make a really good pundit. He would.
Yeah, maybe he will one day. You never know. You never know. But back to the task in hand. Saved yourself there, Josh. Yeah.
You're a good team. You're a good team.
Yeah. Millwall, who are really pissing me off because at the start of the season, when this show first started and we got about 7 or 8 games into the season, I said 3 things you can guarantee in life: death and taxes, and Millwall finishing 8th. Well, they're making me look stupid by battling for the playoffs right now. But they are taking on Blackburn. And again, this is a game that we're in this crunch point of the season. Leicester fans will be looking at and not necessarily, worried if Blackburn get the win as long as we do our job ourselves. But again, them teams that we're trying to keep an eye on and pull into this battle with us, it's a game that if Leicester win, checking your phone or, your soccer Saturday and seeing Millwall winning this game or a draw, it's got to be good for Leicester, hasn't it? Is this a game that you'll have one eye on, Josh, and hoping for a Millwall win?
I've said it for months now. I think Millwall will win the playoffs. I genuinely do. I think they've sort of always been for the last few seasons. They're always there and thereabouts. They tail off at times, but they look really strong this season. And I think the home form and especially their stadium, nobody likes going there to play. And I think that'll really play into their hands. And I think I just can't see anybody else winning the playoffs, mate. I think it's written for them. It's being in Blackburn's position and especially if a team like even us, it's not a place you want to go, and especially when you're trying to win games and get every point you can. I can't see anything other than a Millwall win, mate, and I think Millwall will win. I think they'll win 2-0.
You've gone 2-0 to Millwall. And I mean, Blackburn are suddenly the team that all of a sudden are going, actually, like I said earlier, Oxford are on form. Leicester have seemingly found a bit of rhythm. It may not be the most comfortable of rhythms, but we are, bumping up points on the board. West Brom got a notable point against Southampton. All of a sudden, that 3-horse relegation race could become a 4 or even a 5 with Portsmouth as well in bad form. And Blackburn will be worried because, going away to a high-flying team is hard enough. But if you're losing 1-0 in the last 10 minutes and you find out Leicester are winning and, and early in the day, Oxford have won and they won't, but just for argument's sake, West Brom are drawing or beating Hull, which we'll get to later, talk about it, because I ain't predicting that. But, just a bit of pressure on them to suddenly go, oh, really, everybody around us is picking up a point or 3 points and we're one. And then you go and lose the game 2 or 3-0. And I could see that happening. I can see it being a game that will be 1-0 for a long time and then providing, in a sense, for, and I'm sure West Brom and Oxford fans will love me for saying it, results from other teams are going against them, if you will. They'll have to throw caution to the wind to try and get a point at least to keep themselves, still in there. And I can see Millwall grabbing 2 late goals, and I'm going Millwall 3, Blackburn 0. And if you're a Blackburn fan, and I don't know why you would, but if you're watching this back for whatever reason, some people just love to watch prediction shows. Let us know in the comments if you're watching this back. Are you worried that your team is hitting wrong form at the wrong time going into this playoff battle? This relegation battle. One team that won't be so worried going into this relegation scrap at the moment are the team that about 10 to 10 odd games ago, were nailed on relegation with Sheffield Wednesday, and that's Norwich against Preston. The team that are like a premature firework display. Looks pretty at the start and then soon fizzles out, and it's all over. It's all over before the scheduled finish time. It's also like some people's performances in bed, but I can't comment on that.
Not mine. I don't know anything about that.
No, I don't know. I've never heard any complaints. No complaints. At Norwich at home to Preston. Preston again will feel like they still have that chance to, well, probably go and finish 8th, knowing them, but they'll still feel like they're up there, chance of the playoffs. Norwich, whilst not mathematically safe, and it's just a long stretch off at one bad run is what it will take. Craig went 3-1 Millwall, by the way. I did see his post and he just say like and share all. Thanks, Craig, for that. Make sure you're doing that. But this is a game really where Norwich can almost go to the beach, because unless all of a sudden 3 or 4 teams pick up form and they drop off a cliff, they'll feel like they've pretty much got themselves over the line. They're closing in on that 50-point mark. They don't look like slowing down in good form. Is this a game where maybe they go, oops, took our eye off the ball and focus up next week and go and get 3 points, or do you just see them continuing their good run of form? Which way have you got this one, Josh?
Clermont's got their motor in, mate. They're like you say, they're one of the form teams in the league. Against us, even though we didn't play great, I thought they played really well. He's got them well set up. The patterns of play are really good. Attacking wise, they look brilliant going forward. And I can only see this going one way, mate. I think, like I say, Preston is sort of had the fun at the start of the season, like they do every season. Really, they're up there and then they sort of tail off and never really pick up another purple patch throughout the season, which will give them a good shot at least the playoffs. So. It's Norwich win all over for me, mate. I'm going to say I think Norwich will win 3-0 this one.
Norwich 3-0. Let me just. Well, there's no cameras in my lights either. I'm just. I feel like, you know, when someone's like, you're doing their mock exams at school, you see that kid keeps looking over, yeah, look like that. I felt like I need to start doing that because, well, not for the first time tonight, surprisingly, with my theatrics and reaction there being a bit exaggerated. I've got the same feeling as you. And I also feel like Norwich are just, you know, they're on that trajectory now. They're in good form. They're in a good feeling. And I feel like sometimes it's easier being in the middle of nowhere on a high to keep that run going and finish as high as you do than it is the in indifferent form in around 10th and just trying to get the energy and the confidence to push for a playoff place. So I can't change my mind. I want to change my mind because, again, it'd be me and you copying each other. But I am going to go for 3-0 Norwich City, which is, I'm not saying I don't like copying your homework, but I'm not the one.
I wouldn't. My performance this season, mate, has been shit.
Yeah, but again, at least you've had the knackers to stay in the thing. So some of them, grabbed the dummy and the toys and walked out with it. I mean, I'm only using that on Chris because I threw a right strop on the Ipswich review show, but won't go into that. Now then, Ipswich. Yeah, you are a dummy. I didn't mean the one that you put in your mouth, Chris. I was just calling you a dummy. Ipswich, stuttering a little bit, shell-shocked by Leicester. May or may not have been denied 2 clear penalties. But nevertheless, they then, came from behind against Stoke, only to be denied late on in that game 3-3. And then they're travelling to Sheffield Wednesday, who, as we know, are already League One, but they got a draw midweek, and they're going to try their best to get to the end of the season with 0 points, which sounds like the most bizarre sentence that you never thought you'd say, but given every hellacious thing that's gone on at Sheffield Wednesday this season. I mean, they were dead before a ball was even kicked, bless them. You know, so the things that were added on throughout the season really didn't help their cause. But Ipswich surely cannot lose this, because we talked about Middlesbrough kind of, you know, commentary running away with it now. They're not going to give up first place. Do Ipswich throw away their playoff, their automatic chances if they don't beat Sheffield Wednesday here? I mean, surely surely it can't get any worse for Ipswich. And I wish I could go to the banners and get it can. It'd be meaner if I was going to. But surely, this is an away win, isn't it? Isn't it, Josh? I nearly forgot your name then.
Yeah, 100%, mate. I've banged the drum for Sheffield Wednesday all season. I wish them nothing but the best of luck, especially going into next season when it sounds like they're going to be starting on minus 15 points again if they get this new buyer to come in and buy the club.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. I think Ipswich win this comfortably, mate. Sheffield Wednesday, they ship a lot of goals, and it's sort of a lot of their games this season. If they concede one, it's quickly followed by 2, then 3. So I think Ipswich will win this 1-4-0.
Oh, Sheffield Wednesday fans, the thoughts of Josh LCID TV are not the ones from the actual channel itself. Just to ignore that, ignore his name. It's not in the association for us. We're not that horrible to you. However, I'm going to agree with you in some degree. I wished for some minor miracle, but the second it became ridiculous amount of points, it was never going to happen. And I think it's horrible to think that they could start next season on minus 15. It's just leave them alone.
Yeah, it's shit. It's shit because the thing is as well, it's a lot of anything in any sport. It's the fans that suffer, fans that go week in, week out. I've been supporting them since the kids. It's as we know, being football fans, your football club's like your livelihood. Really, it's something you look forward to every weekend, and your team's results can basically dictate the rest of your weekend. So it's them that suffer, and like you say, it's I think especially after this season, I've sort of adopted Sheffield Wednesday as sort of a second, third team of mine. I know, just predict them to lose 4-0, but I'm using my brain on this one, not my heart. So Sheffield Wednesday, I wish them nothing but the best, and I'll be keeping a close eye on them, especially going into next season.
Yeah, I mean, you'd like to think they won't get 15 points taken off them, and they'd have a chance to sort of keep themselves afloat in League One, and the rebuild can start there. Unfortunately, I do see an Ipswich win, and I'm gonna be a bit kinder than you. But sadly, Wednesday fans, not much kinder. I'm going Sheffield Wednesday 1, Ipswich Town 3. Now then. Just spoke about Sheffield Wednesday, and we just spoke about Ipswich, and ironically, their opponents that they played midweek face off against each other on Saturday. It is Stoke City at home to Watford, and the only surprise about this fixture is after drawing with Sheffield Wednesday, Watford didn't announce they sacked the manager because they do that for him picking the wrong meal up at lunchtime. Good old same old Watford, I guess. Craig did go for a 3-2 Ipswich win, and he also went for a Norwich 2-1 win earlier. It's a bit of a weird one, isn't it? Because the Stoke have fallen off a cliff. In retrospect, they were up at the top 2, then they in the playoffs. Now they don't even look like they'll get that at this rate. The way they keep dropping points and having bad results. I mean, they managed to rescue one against Ipswich. They drew 2-2 with Wolves a few weeks ago. It's not been great form for Stoke as of late. And then, like I said, Watford drawing with Sheffield Wednesday midweek. Where's this one going? Because the next game's more interesting. I'll be honest with you. No offence to Stoke or Watford. This is right now. It's a mid-table battle. It's just not really much on display for either side. Boring, or is the goals galore in it, Josh?
It's two teams where it's hard to call at the minute. I think with Watford, they're so unpredictable. You don't know what Watford are going to turn up on match day. One week they can look really good and score plenty of goals and get wins, but like you say, against Sheffield Wednesday, to come away with a draw, they'd be massively disappointed, really. But Stoke, as you say, they are stuttering. I'm going to go for an away. I'm going to go for an away win on this one. So I'm going to go Watford 2, Stoke 1.
Going for a Watford win. I feel like this is a game where it's either going to end with a drab ball draw, maybe 1-1 at best, or Stoke are going to be the reason that Watford's the manager. Because, you've got a safe bet to bet that if Watford play a game of football and they don't win it, they're going to sack the manager. And I'm going to go for Stoke to bounce back with some form. And maybe it's just because I like Mark Robbins as well and I want him to do well. I was sort of hoping he would have taken a job from us, but Leicester's financial position, it was always going to be someone who was, free and available. I'm going to go for Stoke 2, Watford 0. I think they'll stop the rot here, Stoke, and get a comfortable win against Watford. And breaking news, Watford have now started their 97th manager this season. Just fun headlines for you. I don't write it, they make their own. Stoke 2, Watford 0 is my prediction. And you've gone Stoke to lose the game 2-1 to Watford. And Craig's gone 3-1 Stoke. So, Craig sees a lot more sense than others in his predictions. Always knew Stoke. He knew what he was doing predicting a Stoke win. Now then, another big game for both these clubs, for both opposite reasons. And it's a big game that Leicester will again be keeping an eye on. Fans will be checking the scores and listening to the Tannoy announcer, hoping to hear of an away win in this one. Because it is the Baggies, the yo-yo club of the mid-2000s, fighting for their lives at the bottom. And after a point against Southampton, it's got to be the confidence they need to take on high-flying Tigers Hull City. Look, this is a game where Leicester don't really want West Brom to even draw it, let alone win it. That's unfathomable. We really want the best results for Leicester this weekend. We obviously want that every weekend, but we're wanting an Oxford defeat and we wanted West Brom to lose this game. Was that draw more because Southampton were lacklustre, or do you have a little bit of an inkling that maybe, just maybe, West Brom now have settled and themselves could maybe start picking up points? Do you see them potentially getting anything from this game?
I can, mate. I can see a bit of a shock in this one, purely for the fact that West Brom, they were so close to beating Southampton last night. Hull have slipping up slightly. Recent games have not been fantastic because it's at the Hawthorns as well. I think West Brom would be right up for it. I hate to say it because it could go against us should we not get anything against QPR. But I'm gonna go West Brom to win this one 1-0. I hate to say it, but I just...
Anyway, we don't have that sort of attitude on this prediction show, do we, folks? No, we don't. No, we don't need people. No, Chris, where'd you find these people? Come on. Well, Leicester fans are predicting everybody to win. Surprised he didn't change his mind with Leicester. What's going on? Oh, Chris, the stuff you find.
I could just see it, mate. I could just see it. I think, like I predicted us to beat QPR, I think the perfect weekend, obviously, is for West Brom to lose, Blackburn to lose. But we've not had that sort of luck and rub of the green for quite a while. I mean, it'd be lovely if it happened on Saturday, because then you sort of relax a bit more and you think, right, we've given ourselves a little bit of breathing space. But I don't think we're going to get that lucky. I think West Brom are just going to sneak it. Well, hopefully I'm wrong. I genuinely hope I'm wrong.
I hope you're wrong. I hope you're wrong. I can see bit of confidence coming from this naturally. That draw against Southampton, obviously, that late equaliser will have hurt them a bit, and obviously, it's one of them where you're kind of just hoping that they don't pick up any momentum. I think they will drag this game out. I do think it'll be a tough game for Hull. I think West Brom, especially if results go against them in the early kickoff and maybe noise reaches them of other positive results going against them as well, like Blackburn or even Leicester's, we hope. It's a tough game for them, and it's going to be a tough game for the players, because if they go 1-0 down early and it's a backs against the wall job and Hull really control it, we know as well, we saw the 35 fans that turned up for our midweek win against Bristol. Fans can make it difficult by not being there, by leaving early. And I know I'm not saying any fans not within the right to leave early, especially this season for us as well. I've seen it. That's not me firing shots saying you shouldn't leave a game early or anything like that before anyone gets on their high horse about it. What I mean is, if it starts going wrong early, it's only going to get worse. And if that atmosphere gets toxic, if the crowd get on their back and then Hull get another goal, it could just crush that momentum and any momentum and positivity they had from that game. And I really hope that happens. However, I am like you. I think that result will buoy them a little bit. It'll make them feel a little bit, less fragile, a little bit more sturdier. And I'm going to go 1-0 as well. But I'm going to go West Brom 0, Hull City 1. I think it'll be a late winner, break a bit of hearts, and then hopefully that will just be the straw that broke the camel's back, if you will, for West Brom, who are on, surprisingly, worse form than Leicester City, and that's a very mean feat to do, all things considered. Now then, good job I decided to check on my phone, isn't it? Because I said at the start of this stream that after the Friday game, all the other games were on Saturday. That's not the case. There is not one on the Sunday. However, there's sneaky little gits. They've put one on a Monday. Now then, quiz question. Without trying to squint your eyes and look at the fixture list there that Chris has put up, that an ant would struggle to read. What two teams do you reckon it is? What do you reckon the last fixture is on a Monday night? Oh, Josh.
Who have we not spoke about?
Two teams.
Derby.
Aye. Another relegation team. Another team that.
Portsmouth.
Yeah, you got it. It's Portsmouth at home to Derby County. Now, I've never wanted a Midland side to do as much of a favour, and one of my bosses at work is a Portsmouth fan, and we have quite a good chat about football, mainly because we're both depressed most days when we go in talking about football, given our team's predicaments at the moment. And it got a bit toxic at Fratton Park. I believe it was their midweek game. They lost. They do have a game in hand, but it's always easier to have the points on the board than it is a game in hand. Because if you're in rotten form going into that game in hand and then you lose that, it becomes panic at the disco, as they would say, in terms of form. Again, it's another game where the pressure's really on Portsmouth, because we've talked about results going against West Brom, against Oxford, against Leicester, But and it could well happen, if certain results go against Portsmouth, they could find themselves in trouble. They could find themselves looking at the league table going, Leicester are picking up form, West Brom or Oxford we're in the bottom three. This is a game that's going to have a lot of pressure on it for Portsmouth, being the last game. Now, that could determine how this result goes, because if the results go in their favour, a draw's not end of the world for them. But if, like I said, if West Brom beat Hull and Leicester beat QPR and Oxford beat Charlton Athletic, this game's going to be monumental for Portsmouth's season. You feel like this could be the game that decides their fate in a way if results go in a certain way. Josh, can Portsmouth be one of them teams that start to make progression at the table, or are they going to keep themselves in red-hot relegation danger?
They could climb higher, but I don't think this is a game where it'll happen. Derby have been a really big surprise for me this season. I know they had a decent transfer window in the summer. They bought well. They have got a good side, and I think they're gonna want to win this game more than what Portsmouth are, because they obviously Derby are up there in the there and thereabouts in the playoffs. So I think because it's at home as well, I think Derby's form at home is probably a good factor. It's going to be one of the big factors for them if they are to make that play at one of the playoff spots. So I think it'll be close, it'll be nervy, it'll be edgy, but I think Derby will edge this one 2-1.
I haven't got the time and the efforts to antics of saying you're copying my homework, because I you know what? No, I'm going to change it. I'm going to go with this wise man in the chat who has been predicting all the way through the show, and it's Craig, who went for Hull City 2-0 win against West Brom. He went for a Stoke win 3-1 as well. And I'm going to match him because brains, smart people think alike. And I'm going to go Derby County 3, Portsmouth 0. And thankfully, the boss, who is a Portsmouth fan, A, doesn't know I do this sort of work. B, doesn't know that, doesn't probably care about YouTube enough to watch it. And C, can't fire me for predicting Portsmouth to lose so badly. So there we are. We have eventually, better late than never, Chris will be thinking, as he's taking his NyQuil ready for sleep. We have got to the end of the show. We have done it in just over an hour and 10 minutes. Josh, it's been good to see you, my friend. Let's hope that Leicester do better than our predicting skills. And I mean, are you going to the game? Will you be listening to the game? How are you going about following the game on Saturday?
I'm actually going on Saturday. I'm going to watch the local team where I live. I've been quite a few games of theirs this season, so I'm trying to get a lot more involved in the local football lower league scene. It's a good day out, and like I say, every time I've been, I've always had either Leicester on the radio with my earphones, or I've just been obviously constantly keeping up to date with the score. So I think it's going to be a nervy one on Saturday for us, but it'll probably be a game where I won't listen to it, but I'll be constantly refreshing Fox's Talk or BBC Sport just to see how we're getting on. But yeah, that'll be me, mate. But hopefully, either way, we get another win, put in another good performance, and fingers crossed, if we could keep a clean sheet, even better. Well, there you go. Josh, and I suppose most of us here, including myself, we're living on a prayer. I can't say we're halfway there. We're over halfway there. Here's hoping that we will be picking up 3 points on Saturday. Before you lovely people in the chat leave, please make sure on your way out that you've hit subscribe and you've also turned notifications on and set it to all. And of course, you've obviously enjoyed seeing these two beautiful people on screen and these knowledgeable stuff. So make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't already. And if you are subscribed, you'll then be able to make sure you never miss a show, because Chris, he loves making loads of shows, even shows that aren't even scheduled to be on. So you never miss a notification if you have them turned on and you are subscribed to the channel. It is, as the runners would say, it's good night from me. Good night from me. That'll do. It's close enough to the script. So you send these scripts over and they don't always read them, folks. You can't help it. And then if it's not shown beforehand, make sure you are back here for the watch along on Saturday. I'm pretty sure Chris does an 11 picking tomorrow, so you'll get entertainment then. But until next time, if I don't see you in a week, I'll see you in a while. Good night, everybody.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Thanks for watching. These videos are tremendous. You'd better like them too, or I'll be back.
This podcast is proud to be part of the TalkSport Fan Network.
TalkSport. Powered by fans.
That will conclude this evening's entertainment.